Passing that will go on, and both teams have very strong running attacks, so it should be a really hard-fought contest today.
Kevin Carroll will kick off for the Hampton University Pirates, a team that has a couple of real fine running backs in the names of Demetrius Hall and Carl Painter. You'll probably be seeing them later on. Winston-Salem State trying to get over the hump. They, as we said at the outset, have been in this championship game 5 times, and each time they have come up short. Last year, Virginia Union defeated them by a score of 13-7 in Winston-Salem. Today, they're away from home, and they play well on the road.
Well, I think that looking at the way both of these teams have come in this game, Bill Hayes has been coaching down there at Winston for the past 12 years. I think his team is really going to try to take that last step today and try to get over that hurdle, which has been in their way the last few years in these championship games.
Rodney Howard will be the deep man, but it'll be one of the up men, and that's number 83 running it back out to about the 37-yard line, which is where Winston-Salem State will go on offense here at Armstrong Field. And that number 83 was Ronald Joyner, the sophomore from Conway, North Carolina. So man in the I formation, and the quarterback is line. A pretty decent run there by number 32, Roderick Graves, a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, Hampton plays the 5-2 defense, which is similar to the 4-3, and I guess on that play to the right-hand side of the field, they were able to seal off one of the tackles pretty well.
Painter and Hall, running backs. To give this time to the big running back, and he slips up to midfield. And he's going to be very close, gets the first down. And that turned out to be number 32 again. That's Roderick Graves, the sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina. So Winston-Salem State picking up the first down just at the 49-yard line. Just underway here at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia, the CIAA championship. Hampton and Winston-Salem. Winston-Salem with the football, and again, they go to Rod Graves. Graves picked up another 5 or 6, will he?
Yeah, they're playing very well on offense. They seem to have found a slight weakness in Hampton's defensive front 4. And I think as long as they continue to get 7 or 8 yards a crack, they're going to really stay on the ground and try to wear them down this opening possession.
Graves made the all-coaches CIAA team last night at a banquet here in Hampton. Here he is again, the second man out of that I formation, barrels his way over the 40 to about the 37.
They're getting very good blocking from their lead back and fullback on these plays, being able to get inside, being able to seal off of that second back through, as evidenced by the yards they're continuing to gain.
5-yard pickup by Graves. They spotted at the 39. It'll be 1st and 10. Winston-Salem State with the football. Give it again, going to Graves. I guess you go with what got you there. Graves gets to about the 36-yard line. He's carried the football just about on every carry of Willie Lanier for Winston-Salem State.
Yes, you have. Well, as you say, you might as well keep using things that are working well for you. I think, as you noticed there, Hampton was able to tighten up a little bit in that front 4, getting off the ball, so they slowed them down a little bit. They only got 3 on that last play.
Scored 11 touchdowns this year on that 9-2 Hampton team. They go to Lonnie Pulley, number 20, another one of their fine running backs, the gentleman who gained over 800 yards this season and 2 touchdowns, but he didn't get much out of there. Well, as a matter of fact, he didn't get anything.
Yeah, that was the first time they run somewhat of an option and the quarterback hands off to the fullback on the lead. I think he should have stuck with what they've been doing before, just having the halfback follow the fullback directly into the line.
12:21 remaining, first quarter, no score. Winston-Salem State taking the opening kickoff. They have it at the Hampton 36-yard line. Watching the quarterback this time on the keeper, and this is Maynor. Maynor throwing on the sideline and dead run, but it'll be incomplete. I think he's trying to get it out there to number 15, Yancey Thigpen. So it'll be 4th down for Winston-Salem State as Hampton stops the drive. And they send Mark Braley back as the deep man. Punt almost fumbled and looked like he may have run into the kicker, but the officials say nothing doing.
He must have got a hand on the ball, of course. If you don't touch the punt, then that would have been a penalty. But he still got a pretty good kick under that kind of condition.
An excellent kick. The ball will go over to Hampton at about the 3-yard line. A 34-yard punt under considerable pressure from the Hampton folks. 1st down and 10 for Hampton. They're at their own 3-yard line. Painter, the setback. He is the deep man in the I formation. And they go to the foot man. A yard or two. Demetrius Hall.
Come on, Demetrius.
And he's a fine runner like Graves. He has been a super ball player for Fred Freeman of Hampton. He and Painter make up the backfield combination for the Hampton Pirates. In motion goes Tracy Miller. Painter and Hall are the setbacks at the 3-yard line. 2nd and 9. Quarterback throwing on the run, the completion. The pass went from DeRocky Kroom, and it was complete to the fine receiver for the Hampton Pirates, Demby. Just a 4-yard gain on the play, so it'll be 3rd down and 9. Kroom, the quarterback. Hampton deep in their own territory. The fight, the struggle out to about the 6 or 7 yard line. Not much on that particular play.
Winston-Salem has a very strong defense. They play what Coach Bill Hayes calls an eagle, almost an 8-man front. So as far as running attack today, Hampton's going to work very hard. They have to work very hard to be able to crack that defense. But I think it is susceptible to the pass.
And they like to block punts. It'll be 4th down and 3 to go for Winston-Salem. David Hamlin will do the punting. God damn it! For Bill Hayes, and the deep man back is Donald Frank for Winston-Salem. Whistle's blowing. We have 10 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first period. There is no score here at Armstrong Field in this CIAA championship game. Ron Pinckney along with Willie Lanier. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon, but it is cold here in Hampton.
Yeah, it was a little wintry down here for playing football on Saturday. It was a beautiful day for the game.
Winds are gusting out of the northwest at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. And I want to see how David Hamlin will handle this punt now. With that, the wind blowing right in the teeth of his face. Hamlin standing back in his own end zone. Gets a low snap. He won't be able to get away. Looks like it's going to be
That's all right.
It's a safety or a touchdown. Looks like a safety, Willie.
Yes, appears to be a safety. I think that was a smart move on the punter's part after realizing he wasn't going to be able to control the ball to go ahead and take the safety so they wouldn't have to risk giving up a touchdown at that position on the field.
There was a flag thrown on the play. And here comes the official, the day's referees, and officials are referee Charles Nicholson. That's the gentleman you're seeing marching the ball off. Umpire Bill Miles, the head linesman Al Elmore. The line judge is Meade Shore, and the back judge is Frank Price. So they waved off the flag, and with 9:58, it'll be Winston-Salem State with a 2-0 lead. And, of course, they will get the free kick, well, Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, I think on that particular play, the punt that Hampton muffed, of course, and the ball went out of bounds for the state of Winston-Salem. It just showed that I guess the wind conditions are affecting any time you move the ball from the passing or snapping standpoint. I think it was evidenced by that last play.
Well, we were just talking about the fact that Winston-Salem State loves to block punts, but Hamling actually fumbled the ball. He just couldn't hold it. And there was nothing to do but just for the Winston-Salem State man to just fall on it.
Yeah, it appeared that he realized he was in trouble, of course, as soon as he dropped the ball, and he had such a great rush coming from Winston-Salem and made a good decision to get that ball out of bounds so as to only have to allow them to have a safety instead of risking a touchdown from Winston-Salem.
Winston-Salem State ranked number 11 in the NCAA Division II ratings this week. Hampton number 15. More than likely the winner of this game will probably get a playoff spot in the NCAA Division II playoff starting next week. Alvin Tolliver kicking off. And here comes Winston-Salem State's fine runner Frank Torrance. And he gets it once again down into Hampton territory at the Hampton 35. So with 9:52 remaining in the first quarter, it's Winston-Salem State 2, Hampton nothing. We'll be back at Armstrong Field in a moment.
I am master of ancient art of karate, kung fu, and the Chinese chuckle.
But the one about the socializing...
I always reach for a cold Miller Lite. Light tastes great. Lightless are filling too. Hey, anybody want a pepperoni?
Ancient proverb, only one light beer, Miller Lite.
Tempo brings you the fast-paced action of American soccer each Saturday night throughout the 1987-88 American Indoor Soccer Association season. Tonight, you'll see Milwaukee Wave play the Canton Invaders from the Civic Center in Canton, Ohio. Don't miss the excitement. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss a minute of the action. American soccer tonight on Tempo following the CIAA Football Championship at 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Ron Pinckney along with Willie Lanier at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia. Winston-Salem State in this championship game for the CIAA title, leading by a score of 2-0, and Winston has the football at the 36-yard line of Hampton. It's been a rough first quarter for Hampton. Here's Graves again. Big fella gets over the 35 to about the 32-yard line. Goes Graves, and the tackle was made there by Richard Taylor, a defensive back from Williamsburg, Virginia.
I think Hampton is really starting to play a little bit better on defense. We know from the first series that Winston-Salem had that on this play they were only able to gain 2 yards, and I think that's one of the lowest totals on their first possession since this game started.
Pulley and Graves are the running backs. Pulley is the front man, Graves the deep man in the I formation. And here comes Maynard, the quarterback, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, and he is down to the 12-yard line of Hampton University. Cornell Maynard, he was finally stopped there by Stacy Sanders of Chesapeake, Virginia. 25 yards, and let's look at it again, Willie.
It was a great play to see him come in and fake the draw play and turn the corner. I think he set that up earlier when he had an option to his fullback in the previous series, but he had a great deal of running, very good running to gain that 25 yards in that play.
So it is first down and 10. Here's Pulley. Pulley gets to about the 7-yard line. He played last week with a broken nose. He has 2,500 yards on his running career. Does Lonnie Pulley. Fine running back.
It appears Hampton has started to be able to play the inside running game pretty well, and I think that's one reason with Winston-Salem going with that option on the 2 plays ago to the quarterback to try to exploit the outside now that Hampton's taking the inside pretty well.
Ball is at the 10-yard line of Winston-Salem. Hampton's had a good defense this year, but I don't think it's too much you can do when you really don't have good field position. And they have not had the ball very often this afternoon as, once again, you look at the big running back picking up 5 yards for Hampton. That's number 32 again, Roderick Graves, sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Winston-Salem has a very large offensive line also, and I think that during the course of this game, as they continue to run that ball inside, they'll start to have an effect on wearing some of the Hampton defensive players down.
1st and 10 at the 4-yard line. Touchdown, Maynard to Pulley. A 4-yard touchdown for Winston-Salem State, and they have extended their lead over Hampton to 8-0 with 7:35 remaining in the first quarter. So the Pirates have been struggling here while Winston-Salem State had just simply taken control of this football game, and there isn't really much you can do if you're a Hampton fan. Here's the point after touchdown. It is up. Looks good, and it is. So Winston-Salem State wasting no time on every series that they've had the football. They converted a Hampton series into a safety. This time a 4-yard. Over Hampton. We'll be back at Armstrong Field in a moment.
Why do you invest with Charles Schwab, America's largest discount broker?
I've been investing with...
I like the service and the savings.
In the last 3 years, I've saved enough on commissions through Schwab to buy my granddaughter 100 shares of stock.
At Schwab, there's never any sales pressure. I make the decision, Schwab makes the trade. I cut my commission costs in half, period.
At Schwab, they keep my investment costs down. I mean way down.
I invite you to find out more about Schwab today. We drive down commission costs for the independent investor, and we do it with a level of service that you'll really appreciate.
For your free Schwab booklet, call toll-free 800-272-6200. That's 800-272-6200. Call Schwab now.
Okay, we're back at Armstrong Field here in Hampton, Virginia. A very subdued Hampton crowd, and of course the Winston-Salem folks enjoying themselves. Touchdown again.
We're looking at the replay of the quarterback rolling out, keeps the ball on his hip. And I think this had worked against Hampton a couple of times before. He got out of containment, hit the receiver in the end zone for a touchdown. That's something that Hampton's going to have to play a lot better, and that's the rollout of the quarterback on the option, as well as being able to throw the pass off of it.
Maynard has completed passes for over 1,000 yards this year for the Winston-Salem State Rams, so he can throw the football. He didn't have to throw it that far, but he can throw it. Fully, of course, one of the fine rushing backs. He also has scored a couple of touchdowns via the air. This, of course, being his third. So Winston-Salem State now will kick off to Hampton, and let's see what happens here. This Tyrone Smith kicking off, throwing into the end zone as 26 Mark Braley lets it go, and Winston-Salem kicking off. Hampton 1st and 10 at their own 20, and believe it or not, Willie, this is the best field position Hampton's had all day.
Yeah, you can really see the difference that the wind is having. On that kickoff, you saw the ball went very deep in the end zone, and on Hampton's attempted punt as well as their punt after that safety, they both had trouble as far as the wind's affecting that ball.
The Rocky Kroom, the quarterback, a freshman from right here in Hampton. Got a lot of time to learn his craft. 1st down and 10. Hampton with the football. Couple of tough yards there as the ball carrier gets maybe 1 or 2 yards on the play. And that's Carl Painter. He has had a fine career at Hampton. Yeah, he gained over 1,000 yards in 1985 when Hampton won the CIAA championship.
Yeah, he's the leading rusher in Hampton University's history, and I think it's just a credit for his great skill as to the kind of career he's had here.
2nd and 8. He picked up 2 on that play. 2nd and 8. Whistle blowing. The Rock Kroom with the football. out the football at the 24-yard line. Give him a couple of yards on the play, but they were tough.
Yeah, that 8-man defense basically that Winston-Salem is playing is really taking away all the lanes. You're getting good pressure from the front four and a lot of activity with those other defensive backs. And Hampton is going to have to, I think, expand their offense a little bit to come a little bit wider to give them more room to try to gain some yardage.
3rd down and 5 for the Hampton Pirates. They trail by a score of 9-0. Kroom wants to throw. And down he goes. The big play made by number 43, Leslie Barley. I mean, he really hammered into Kroom.
And I think what happened there with the quarterback rolling out, of course, he had a chance to make a quick decision. He rushed upfield, he got through, and he was able to make a very great defensive play for Winston-Salem.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 5 for the Pirates. Tyrone Smith will do the punting for Fred Freeman. Here's the Smith kick. And the wind holds the football up in the air. Good field position for Winston-Salem State. 18-yard punt. I mean, that was really held up Willie Lanier by the wind.
Yeah, that really makes a big difference when you think about the field position. When you either win the toss at the beginning of the game, whether sometimes you start receiving, or you might even go on defense to try to get the advantage of the win for you in the first quarter.
Here's the NCAA Division II Top 20 football poll, of which both of these teams, Winston-Salem, number 11, Hampton ranked number 15. Give goes to Graves again, and he gets a couple of tough yards out to the 35-yard line.
That's one of the first times Winston-Salem has run from the split back position, and it's somewhat of a fake to the fullback, a give to the half. But I see they're starting to change the offense just a little bit to give Hampton a different look.
2nd down and 6 for the Winston-Salem State Rams. Rams leading by a score of 9-0. A safety and a touchdown to Lonnie Pulley by Maynard. And that's been the story here at Armstrong Field. Here's the big running back again, number 32, Roderick Graves. 11 touchdowns coming in. He leads the team in scoring and rushing with 718 yards, and they don't hesitate to go to him.
No, they don't. They had a double tight end set on that particular offense with the halfbacks in and fullback in the formation they were in. So I think that's the kind of play we'll continue to see them run.
3rd and 4 for the Rams of Winston-Salem State at the 32-yard line. And again, they go to Graves. And Graves this time is cut down by Carlton Calsar. Calsar, a linebacker, throwing him for a 2-yard loss.
Hampton had great pursuit on that play. I think if they tried to stay inside the way they had before, he might have had a chance of picking up that yardage, but when he tried to break outside with Hampton's great pursuit, they were able to, of course, make that play and hold them and put them in a 4th down position.
So for the first time this afternoon, Hampton has been able to repel Winston-Salem State. And that means now that they will have to kick. Hamlin will do the punting.
Let it go!
Gets it up in the air, and it goes where it'll be 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line for the Hampton Pirates. We have 3:54 remaining in the first quarter here at Armstrong Field, the home, and we're on the campus of Hampton University. 9-0, Winston-Salem State in front. Hampton will get the ball once again at their own 20. Running backs will be Painter, number 27, and Demetrius Hall. He defeated Virginia State last week with a winning run, but it goes again to Painter. Painter gets to about the 21-yard line, and he was really upended at that spot. Well, that Winston-Salem defense is tough.
Yeah, they really are. I think that offensive line for Hampton is going to have to get off the ball a lot stronger, because when you have that many men up near the line of scrimmage, it makes it very difficult, especially when they have penetration. And you're going to your second back in the formation to gain yardage.
They have fellas like Jeff Kelly, Roy Phillips, James Daniels, and Willie Jones up there on the front 4. The linebackers are Hayes, Charles Eichard, and Mark Wallace. Still having a rough time is the Hampton runner that time. And that's Hall. The secondary for the Winston-Salem State Rams will be Anthony Blaylock, Darrell Hall, number 21 Raymond Perrier, and number 17 Donald Frank. Certainly have to give these folks notice because they have played a very good game. As you look at Fred Freeman in his 4th season here at Hampton and in his 2nd championship game. But today he's down 9-0. In motion goes Green. Quarterback wants to throw, puts it up in the air. The intended receiver was Tracy Miller, but the Rock Croom could not get it out there. Good play by Anthony Blaylock in the Winston-Salem State secondary.
Yeah, at least the Hampton offensive line gave the Rock Room a lot of time to throw. He was able to drop back, set up in the pocket, wait for the receiver. Unfortunately, he misplayed the pass, and therefore they're in the 4th down position.
So it is punt time once again for the Pirates of Fred Freeman. That means that they will call on David Hamlin to do the punting. Hamlin gets a high snap, and it is blocked again. And the gentleman that blocked it looks like Roy Phillips. If it is against Virginia Union, when we had the game on a couple of weeks ago when Winston-Salem played Virginia Union, he blocked 2 punts, scored 1 for a touchdown. The ball is at the 2-yard line of Hampton. 93, Roy Phillips.
I guess they've elevated the pass, the punt rush to an offensive play for them this year.
So it'll be 1st down and goal to go for Winston-Salem State at the 2-yard line of Hampton. Touchdown. That's number 32, again, Graves. Or check it, Lonnie Pulley. Looked like Graves to me. It was Graves. 32. Touchdown. Point after now. Coming up. 15-0. Winston-Salem State. So with 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining, it's Thomas Gossier of Hampton blocking the PAT. 15-0. Touchdown again, Willie Lanier.
I think you'll notice that Winston-Salem played a full house backfield that time with one of the linemen, I believe, in a position such as the kind that William Perry plays with the Chicago Bears. We couldn't quite see it there. And the back just followed that lead into the end zone for the 2nd touchdown of the day for Winston-Salem.
All right, hey, look here.
Teeing it up will be number 81, Tyrone Smith. And going deep for Hampton is Mark Braley. 15-0.
Good JR. Good kick.
This is Braley at the 2-yard line. Gets it out to the 21-yard line. And Hampton once again will go to work 1st down and 10 at their own 21. If you can play defense any better than Winston-Salem has done in this 1st half, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I don't really see how it's possible. They've kept Hampton down here dead in the field for the entire 1st half. And the way they're continuing to play with that 8-man front of theirs, Hampton has to try to find the area to exploit, and obviously have not been able to do it yet.
So when you trail like that, the first thing you do is put a new quarterback in there, and the new quarterback happens to be Michael McDean for Hampton. As they give off to 34, Demetrius Hall got a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 for Hampton. 15-0. Winston-Salem State. They scored on a block punt 2 block punts, and a 4-yard touchdown. The give goes to Hall again. Hall gets out to about the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of about 4 on the play. That's tackle made by number 39, Mark Wallace.
That's one of the better running plays that Hampton has run so far today. It was a lead play to the fullback with the the quarterback coming down the line, and he got good blocking at the point of attack and made the game 4 or 5 yards.
Well, Winston-Salem State has been here 4 straight years. They have won the Southern Division Championship, and each year they have come up empty. Whoops. He hangs on to it, does the Hampton runner, and that's Russell Johnson. And he managed to actually gain 5 yards out of that almost miscue.
He showed great concentration on that play. They're running an option to have the ball pop up, have enough presence to gain control of it and almost stand down and get a first down. Great play on his part.
So it's 4th down for the Hampton Pirates. 4th down at the 29-yard line, and that means it'll be punt time again. Tyrone Smith standing back at his own 15. He's had a rough afternoon, I'll tell you. And it doesn't get any better. Here's the kick. This one takes a Winston-Salem State bounce with just 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And it went 25 yards as Fred Freeman, the Hampton coach. He's 27, 12, and 3 is Freeman. First and 10 for Winston-Salem State. This may be the deepest that Winston has had to take the football on any series that we can remember at their own 46. They always had it deep in Hampton territory.
Yeah, that really is.
Fake to Graves this time. Wants to throw. Maynard keeps it. Gets to midfield and into Hampton territory at the Pirate 47-yard line. And Winston-Salem can do nothing wrong. A 7-yard pickup.
I know Hampton will probably be happy to get into now to the second quarter with the win to be their advantage. On the last play, the quarterback faked in the backfield. I know he was looking downfield to 2 receivers who were running deep post patterns, but Hampton had good coverage, so he kept the ball, came back upfield, and gained about 7-8 yards on the play. A very mobile quarterback.
That's the end of the first quarter here at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia. It's Winston-Salem 15, Hampton 0.
There was a time when there was only one kind of beer. Rich, smooth draft beer. It wasn't pasteurized or tampered with. It was just real beer. Miller Genuine Draft is as real as that. It's not heat pasteurized like most other beers. It's cold filtered, so it's as rich and smooth as only real draft beer can be. Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets. Everyone's applauding the new shows on Tempo in November. So ring the gong not once, but twice. Tune in Tempo for the hilarious hijinks of Martin Yan as he shows you how to prepare great tasting Oriental dishes right at home.
This is how you make cabbage roll. What?
Laugh and learn with Martin Yan. Next, enjoy What's Cooking with Ruth Freems. Join Ruth as she gives guidance for everyday cooking for families on the go. Find out recipes for tasty food with a difference. And tune in Tempo for the Rainbow Sports Connection. Sunday night, see exciting football featuring the University of Hawaii Rainbows playing Brigham Young, San Diego State, and Colorado State. Plus, the Rainbows women's volleyball team takes on Pacific University and Stanford in action-packed volleyball matches. In November, watch the new shows on Tempo Television.
And the NBA to support America's public black colleges. Public colleges don't get the backing that some private schools do. With your support, the fund can help deserving black students pay for schooling and preserve the quality of our black colleges, because the future should be something everyone can afford. Second quarter underway. It has not been a Hampton afternoon. It has been defensively a great afternoon for Billy Hayes and the Winston-Salem State Rams. Willie Lanier.
I think one thing I remember about Billy Hayes, we played against each other when I was at Morgan. He was at North Carolina College. He was an outstanding player also as a linebacker in college. I think that sort of carried over in the way his team plays.
It'll be Ram ball now, 2nd and 4 at the Hampton 48-yard line. Give to Graves again, and the big running back hammers his way to about the 45.
Get back to what they were doing earlier, running out of the I formation with the fullback leading, running right up inside, and that's the way they've been able to establish their running game from the beginning of this afternoon.
Graves and Pulley are the running backs. They're not going to Pulley that often. They're working Graves as quarterback. Connell Maynard brings him up to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and a yard to go for the Rams of Winston-Salem. And that's a first down. It should be. They had only a yard to go on that one.
Well, that was the same set they used for the last touchdown, their 3-back set with the ball going to the halfback with 2 backs leading. They were successful running that kind of play.
And it's still 3rd down. They didn't make it. 15-0. Winston-Salem State getting off to an auspicious start in the first quarter. 2 block punts, a 4-yard pass from Connell Maynard to Lonnie Pulley. Graves scoring on a touchdown from 2 yards out to make it 15-0. They're measuring to see whether the first down was accomplished by Winston-Salem State. Going to be 4th down and a yard to go. Rams are going for it. Big play for Hampton. They can stop him. They've got the football. Quarterback Maynard on the keeper. Looks like he made the first down. Just give it to Maynard and he'll hammer his way in there. They're going to have to measure again. It was very close. They got it. I would say, what do you think?
I think they made it.
Fred Freeman looking on. A dejected look at that. This ball club hasn't done too much today. Here's the measurement on this run by Maynard. First down for Winston-Salem State. 14:02 remaining in the second quarter.
Let's go defense!
Yancey Thigpen out wide to the right. He's out there with Keith Torrance. Penalty marker down, but that doesn't stop the hard-running Graves, who gets inside the 40 to the 36-yard line.
It was a very good run of his. See him break one tackle, spin away, and still almost get 9 yards on a play. He really had to make all the yardage himself.
Procedure penalty called against Winston-Salem State on that last run by Graves, and that's going to hurt a fine run. It's going to nullify it. What it's going to do.
They've been pretty free of penalties most of the day. Here's the replay with him cutting up inside, takes a very hard tackle. Tackle didn't wrap his arms, able to cut back and still dive for about 9 yards. Unfortunately, it's nullified.
Go Seaherd was the gentleman that made the tackle and let Graves slip off him. 1st and 15 for Winston at midfield. The fake to Graves. Maynard on the other side of the field. He was looking for a receiver. Picked up a couple of yards. He got down into about the 46-yard line. 4 yards on the play by Maynard.
I think secondary, of course, from Hampton did a very good job of coverage on that play, because even though he rolled out and had a lot of time to survey the field, there was really no one open for him to throw to, so then he had to run. He was really contained by the defense. That's one of the better defensive plays during the course of the game.
The 20th meeting between these two teams. Winston-Salem State has won 12, Hampton 7, and there has been a tie. It's the second championship game they have played in the last 2 years. Maynard, deep drop. Pulley. But he's going to lose yardage. Back to the 47-yard line. Washington Owens, the linebacker and junior from Virginia Beach, Virginia, made the tackle on that 7-yard loss.
They really read that very well. I think his first screen that Winston-Salem has run today, but the linebacker was able to get upfield, make the play initially, and then have a good pursuit by the rest of his defense.
So there may be light in that cloud that has been hovering over Hampton most of the day. That's their best effort defensively of the afternoon. See what Maynard's going to do now. Pulley back there blocking for him. Steps up, throws, and he makes the completion. A beautiful catch there by Thigpen, Yancey Thigpen. Penalty marker back upfield. Looks like a holding penalty. So they're going to call it all back.
Well, that was a very good crossing pattern that Winston-Salem ran with the quarterback stepping back up in the pocket. Had a lot of time when able to make that connection. So I think that sort of gives us an idea of what they might be able to do going forward in this game.
Winston-Salem State with a fine season under Billy Hayes this year. They were 8-2, and they beat up on some pretty good teams. They defeated Middle Tennessee, Division I AA team, by a score of 11-8. They also beat another 1AA team, North Carolina A&T. They lost to Central State of Ohio, 36-14, but who didn't? The draw this time, and here is Pulley. Pulley getting back to midfield and down to the 47-yard line, or make it the 48 of Hampton.
It was definitely the best series defensively that Hampton has played today, and I think if they can continue to contain Winston like this, they might have a chance to work their way back into this ball game.
That's Pulley, Lonnie Pulley. Oh, he's had a fine year. Whoops. This time, the onus is on Winston-Salem State, and Hampton gets the break. 11:27, second quarter, 15-0. Winston-Salem, but Hampton will have the ball.
The 1987 baseball season has been a hitter's year, and two of the most proficient are Wade Boggs and Eric Davis. Now, Philatelic International is proud to feature these two All-Stars in the very first Major League Baseball postage stamp issue, commemorating the 1987 All-Star Game. You'll receive the official first day cover with the signatures of Wade Boggs and Eric Davis. This souvenir sheet featuring their official postage stamps and each league's starting All-Star roster, plus 2 additional mint stamps, all in a handsome folder complete with display stand. This is a limited issue, only available through this special introductory television offer. Call this toll-free number now and be among the first to own official Major League Baseball postage stamps. The 1987 All-Star Baseball commemorative folder featuring Wade Boggs and Eric Davis is just $19.95 plus shipping. Have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-922-4200. That's 1-800-922-4200.
Back at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia. First down and 10 for the Hampton Pirates, their biggest break of the afternoon, Willie.
That's the deepest penetration of the day.
Johnson, the quarterback. Oh, they stack him up. And, of course, he hands off. And the runner gets down to the 35-yard line. A pretty good piece of faking. Demetrius Hall finally got the ball and picked up for a couple of good yards.
Yeah, that's their biggest gain on first down today.
James Chapman was the gentleman that blocked that punt that has given Hampton this fine field position. At the 35, Johnson carrying, leaping over Winston-Salem lineman, and he gets maybe a 2 or 3 on the play. He just went sailing over top of everybody on that play.
Yeah, he's been able to add a little bit to that offense, being able to run that option, getting good runs from Demetrius Hall, and then being able to carry one himself, where it's pretty close to first down.
One of 4 quarterbacks that Coach Fred Freeman has on this team. Michael McDade, Russell Johnson. He has Andre White and DeRocky Kroom. That's a little unusual, isn't it? Have 4 quarterbacks on one team.
Yes, it is. Hopefully, if all of them can play well, such as these first and second one has been able to today, it really gives you an advantage. Seems to be only a couple of inches short of the first man.
So they're measuring for the Hampton first down on 3rd down. A 15-0 Winston-Salem lead, but I'm sure that Hampton would like to put some arithmetic up on the scoreboard before the end of this first half here in Hampton, Virginia. Cold afternoon. The temperatures are in the 30s here in Hampton, Virginia, and it's a gusty wind coming out of the northwest. Painter and Hall are the running backs in the I formation. And down goes Hall, down to the 26-yard line. Demetrius Hall. He was the hero of last week's Hampton win over Virginia State, 23-19. Scored the winning touchdown.
It's impressive to see a freshman come in and gain as many yards as he has this year and to really make a very solid contribution to this program.
Talked to George Moody, the Virginia State coach, about that game. Both of these teams were in the running for the championship, and Moody says he still sees Hall in his dream. 1st and 10. Hampton ball at the 26. Johnson on the keeper. Touchdown, Hampton. A 26-yard run by quarterback Russell Johnson, a freshman from Batesburg, South Carolina.
That was a great play. It's good to see him get the play, get the game under control, take advantage of their depth into Winston-Salem territory. Here's the play being shown again. He turns the corner, evades 2 tackles, missing, and sprints into the end zone.
Hampton calls timeout. They will go over to talk to Coach Fred Freeman about whether to go for 2 points or the point after touchdown. 10 points. It's 15-6.
Well, at this point in the game, they still have the wind at their back, so even if they want to go for it, it wouldn't be a factor where the wind is going to affect whether you go up for an extra point attempt or not.
Well, Calvin Tolliver, when they get back out on the field, will try to point after touchdown or whatever they're going to do here. I see that Demetrius Hall is still in the game. Johnson is still in the game. Looks like they may be going for 2 points.
Yeah, well, I guess when you get down this point in the playoffs, when you're down 15-6, and you might as well go ahead and try to get 2 to get in position for the next score that you end up having.
Well, there's no tomorrow for either of these teams. This is the CIAA championship game. Painter and Hall will be the backs. The give goes to Hall, and I don't think he got it. He did not get it. So with 10:20 remaining, second quarter, it's Winston-Salem State 15 and Hampton 6. We'll return in a moment.
It's real. I know it's real. No other reason for the way I feel. Oh yeah. It's as real as it gets.
How's everything?
Feels good. So right. Yeah, yeah.
If you go for what's real, you want a beer that's not heat pasteurized, not tampered with. Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft.
It's as real as it gets.
There's no doubt that growing up involves lots of pressures. I feel those pressures. Trying to do a good job in class, trying to help my team win, and just trying to cope with life. Alcohol and other drugs won't make problems or pressures disappear. Those things don't really help when life gets a little rough. They only make the tough times tougher, and nobody needs that.
You're watching Tempo Television. We've got your interest at heart.
Calvin Tolliver will kick off for Hampton. Keith Torrance is the deep man for the Winston-Salem State Rams. That drive was 41 yards, 4 plays, time of Hampton possession 1 minute and 7 seconds, and Hampton got the only 2 first downs they have all day. Here's the kick, goes out of bounds, and they're going to have to do it all over again. What's your thoughts on that Hampton drive? They finally got it together.
Well, I think they really did a fine job in capitalizing on that block punt. And with the field position they had, 41 yards to go, of course, quarterback came in and really did a great job of handing off early and then being able to run that option to their right-hand side and really taking it from 20-some yards score. I think they're working their way, obviously, back into the ball game.
Torrance again will be the deep man for Winston-Salem State on this cold afternoon here in Hampton, Virginia. That kick out of bounds will cost Hampton 5 yards, and they will have to do it now from their own 35 as Tolliver tees the ball up. The wind has been a factor here. The ball's been blowing off the tee, but thus far it seems to be rather stable.
Well, fortunately, they're kicking off with the wind, so it will work to their advantage still on this kickoff.
Torrance is the lone deep man back there for Winston-Salem. Here's the Tolliver kick. Torrance is going to haul it in around the 15, 20, 25, trying to find the alley, and is run out of bounds. Penalty markers look like being thrown over there. He was finally chased out of bounds there by Jarrett Bailey of Hampton, defensive back from Accomack, Virginia. Let's watch it again. Here's this run again.
Keith Torrance made a good reception at about the 10-yard line. Of course, he came back upfield in the middle of the ballpark, but then showed a lot of running skill trying to find another lane. But Hampton was playing very good, as I'll call it, zone control, as far as everyone staying in the lane, coming downfield, and they forced him to run side to side. And in that way, of course, either you run out of bounds or the tackle is made, and Hampton therefore made a tackle. And I think you're seeing that they're playing much better football as this game continues.
Howard 6, Delaware State nothing at the half. They're playing that game in Dover for the MEAC championship. Here it's for the CIAA championship, and that's Rodney McCoy, number 33 in the Winston-Salem State backfield. He's a freshman, and his hometown is Winston-Salem. Gets it out to the 33-yard line. 2nd down and 9. McCoy picked up a yard on the play. Cornell Maynard, the quarterback. He's a freshman from Fayetteville. A lot of freshmen on both of these teams, and they are playing key roles in this game. Here's Maynard again. Maynard wants to throw this time, fires, and he completes it to Torrance, the junior from Moorville, North Carolina.
That was a great pass and catch for him to have pressure on him to roll out and turns to run a square out on the sideline at about 15 yards downfield. Great play, pass, and catch.
I don't know why they haven't gone to him anymore. He's the leading receiver at 24 catches. Did Keith Torrance coming into this game for 390 yards and 4 touchdowns, and that's his first reception of the day. 1st and 10. Winston at their own 43. Rams leading 15-6 over Hampton. Here's Graves again, and Roderick gets out to the 47-yard line. A gain of 3 for the big running back.
Hampton is still playing very good run defense as they started 2 series ago, so hopefully they can continue to try to contain that first down yardage to give them a chance to really control a little bit more of what Winston-Salem is doing.
So it'll be 2nd down for Winston-Salem State. They stay in the I formation. Maynard has them down and set. And this again is 32. Graves. He gets 2 yards on the play, and they finally hog tie him.
He had to spin forward for that. Hampton had very good contact at the point of attack. He had to spin forward. It was a good effort on his part, but they're really playing much better up front as far as that front 4 are concerned.
So we've got a 3rd down and 4 for the Winston-Salem State Rams. As you look at the Hampton defense, number 86 was Anthony Kearney. Graves again to midfield into Hampton territory at the Pirate 44-yard line. He was finally stopped there by number 45, Carlton Calsar.
Winston-Salem did a great job on that play. There was a block to the tight end side of the field. Here's the replay for you. Watch the two tackles and guard pulling number 32, following that block right down. Number 55 allowed him to cut up field. He got good position and able to dive forward for the first down.
Graves has 16 carries for 51 yards. 1st and 10 for Winston. And you go to your bread and butter player, and he gets a couple.
That was basically the same play to the other side of the field. Didn't quite get as much yardage, but it's working well for Winston-Salem at this time.
57 yards, 16 carries for Roderick Graves. 7:32 remaining in the first half, and this second quarter has turned out to be a rather stable quarter. First quarter, Winston-Salem got all the breaks. Couple block punts.
Yeah, it seems that both teams' offense are playing very well based on which way the wind is blowing. So all the points so far have been scored at this other end of the field. Hampton's defense was playing better, but in this series, Winston has been able to do things a little bit differently.
We've got an injured Hampton player down around the 35, 37-yard line. And he's being administered to by the Hampton training staff. 15-6, Winston-Salem State. They scored a safety on a block punt, a touchdown on a pulley catch of a 4-yard pass from a quarterback Maynard, and a 2-yard run of a touchdown by Graves. Hampton scored its lone touchdown. They went 41 yards in 4 plays for their touchdown, and quarterback Russell Johnson went 26 yards for Hampton's lone touchdown. They tried for the 2 points, but it didn't work. So we have 7:32 remaining. Well, today's CIAA championship game is brought to you by Miller Lite. For great taste, there is only one light beer.
Appeared to be a 10-yard penalty after the play. I'm not really sure what the call was, but they moved the ball forward 10 yards, even though the player for Hampton is still on the field injured.
That's the Hampton cheering section. Down below us here at Armstrong Field. Winston-Salem State played in their first championship game back in 1971, and they lost 33-22. They were in it in 1983. Virginia Union beat them 34-7. The injured player on his feet, and that's number 1, Stacy Sanders, coming off under his own power. In 1984, Norfolk State defeated Winston-Salem State in that classic down at Foreman Field. The game was won on the last play on a field goal. 20-19, Norfolk won it. In 85, Hampton beat Winston-Salem 13-7. Last year, Virginia Union beat them 14-7 at Bowman Gray in Winston-Salem, all in the championship game. 4 straight losses. This afternoon, they're trying to make up for it. Maynard has a man. Incomplete. Intended receiver was Sherman Graves, number 84.
Well, that was unsportsmanlike conduct penalty during the time that the Hampton player was injured. So Winston-Salem seeing an opportunity to really go for a long ball or try to put in the end zone, attempt to take advantage of an opportunity at this time.
Winston-Salem State with the football, 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 29-yard line of Hampton. Here's Lonnie Pulley. Pulley gets to the 26-yard line. The Rams have had 106 yards rushing. Graves has 60 yards. Hampton has 54. So Graves picked up more yards by himself than the whole Hampton team.
Well, Winston-Salem is running the ball very well, as we've continued to notice, and I think if they're able to continue in that manner, even though they haven't scored yet in the second quarter, there might be some points coming up.
Stadium clock continues to peel off. 6:43 remaining in the first half. It's 15-6. Winston-Salem State over Hampton, and Hampton is on defense again. Winston-Salem State with the ball. Here's Maynard, has plenty of time. Throws, penalty marker, and Sherman Graves had it and couldn't hold it. There's a marker back at the 32-yard line. That should have been a catch by Graves.
Yeah, it definitely should have been. He had enough time coming across. The ball was right in his hand. I guess regardless of what he would have done with it, since they had a holding penalty, it would have been nullified.
So the holding penalty now goes against the Winston-Salem State Rams, and it'll be marked off and moved back to the 36. Here's a replay on that drop pass.
The quarterback made a decision, came back across the middle, the ball was right in his hand, but apparently you can notice he was looking upfield trying to run before he gained possession of the ball.
3rd and 18, they call it, back at the 36-yard line for the Winston Rams. Graves is the lone setback behind the quarterback, Maynard. Maynard wants to throw. Big play by number 45, Carlton Calsar.
Hampton had a very good rush on that play. They came with pressure in all the lanes. They took away his ability to step up in the pocket, and Calvin was able to come in and make a very good play on the quarterback.
A 10-yard loss, and it'll be punt time for Winston-Salem. Hamlin just did get it off, and it's going to die at about the 33-yard line. Good field position for the Hampton Pirates. When we come back, it'll be Hampton's ball at their own 33. Winston with a 15-6 lead.
I'm Tom Watson. I write for Golf Digest as a plane editor along with Jack Nicklaus, Tom Kite, and Bernhard Langer. We concentrate on offering you a level of professional instruction in print you just won't find anywhere else. Golf Digest brings you every shot in the game, every situation, every strategy, taught clearly and explicitly by the best teachers and players in the game. And remember this, Golf Digest instruction in print isn't like a lesson you listen to and hope you'll remember. You have it, anytime to reread and refer to and review, to show to your partner and hide from your opponents. Whatever, it's yours to keep, and you'll use it.
Call toll-free 800-832-1800 for a year of Golf Digest. Only $12.77, 46% off the newsstand price. And you'll receive as a bonus tips from the tour free. Call 800-832-1800 now.
Be a winner. Read Golf Digest.
Ron Pinckney and Willie Lanier at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia, when play is resumed in this 10th CIAA championship game. It'll be Hampton University's ball, 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. They will employ the same backfield that they have most of the day. That's Carl Painter, number 27, and 34, Demetrius Hall. So they go to Painter. Painter gets to the 42-yard line, and down he goes. Dangerous Carl Painter. He was injured in 1986, broke his collarbone. He had to sit out just about the entire 1986 season, but he's been a terror this year.
Well, you can see with him gaining 10 yards first down on that play, he was able to get outside and finally show the kind of back he really is.
He's a senior from Norfolk, Virginia, and the pro scouts love it. First down, rather. Here's Hall again. Hall gets to about the 46-yard line. Demetrius Hall, another dangerous man in the Hampton backfield.
They have a very good combination. Both Painter and Hall have really started to move the ball well for Hampton. I think after that quarterback change going to Johnson, we really started to see a different offense as far as Hampton's play.
Had a big day against Virginia State last week, 62 yards, and the game-winning touchdown. He leads the CIAA in rushing. A 7.5 average does Hall. This time, Johnson gets very close to midfield. Russell Johnson.
Here again, he was able to take advantage of the fact his two running backs are running so well that Winston had to collapse on that fake inside, allowed him to slip outside and gain another 4 yards.
3rd and 7 at the 49. First half. Russ Johnson calling timeout. He wants to come over and talk to the head man of this Hampton University team, Fred Freeman, whose Pirates are in their second CIAA championship game in 32 years. There was a drought of 30 years from the time they won their last championship until 1985.
They almost look like two different teams from the first quarter to the second quarter. The way Winston-Salem started, leading 15-0 in that first quarter, it appeared that this game might become a rout, but Hampton's really come back, played very good defense, and of course good offense in the second quarter.
Western Kentucky leading North Carolina A&T in the second quarter, 14-7. You saw the Howard score 6-0 over Dell State. Georgia Southern 3, South Carolina State 0. South Carolina State probably still on a high from that Grambling win a couple of weeks ago. 4:15 remaining. First half. Hampton has the ball at the 49-yard line. 3rd and 2 for the Pirates. Johnson, keeper, gets the first down at the Winston 44. He just slid right off that right tackle, picked up 6 yards on the play and a first down.
He runs the option very nice. Down the line, gets a very good fake to the fullback inside. Made a decision to keep the ball. Here he is, faking to number 34 inside. Comes down the line, reads the defense well, cuts back upfield, and gets the necessary yardage for the first down.
Gregory Waller made the tackle for Winston-Salem, but it'll be 1st and 10 for Hampton. They're trailing 15-6. Pitch back to Painter on the sideline. 25-20, 15-10, touchdown Hampton. Carl Painter. He needed one touchdown to tie the record, a 45-yard run. He has now scored 14 touchdowns on his career. It was set in 1961 by Willie Holland and in 1980 by Dennis Mahan.
That was a great one. That was a great run by Painter. Johnson moved the ball very well. It almost faked us out a little bit up here. Tossed it back to Painter. He was off down the sideline. Really, it wasn't even close.
He looked like a scared rabbit going down the sidelines. He was moving.
Yes, he was. Beautiful play.
45 yards, and just like that, Hampton is back in it. 15-12. They're going to go for 2. Let's see who they're going to designate to carry the ball. Whistles blowing. The fake was to Demetrius Hall, but whistle on the play. Looks like Winston-Salem State wanted a timeout. And with 3:44, we have a timeout here at Armstrong Field. 15-12 is the score. And I guess Hampton will go over and decide. I don't think there's any doubt about what they're going to do.
Yeah, but I think Winston-Salem wanted to settle their players down a little bit. It has been a shock to their system the way Hampton has come at them offensively in the second quarter. So even though they're going for, of course, this 2-point conversion, I think Winston wants to try to really get everything settled down to position themselves trying to stop this play.
If you've just joined us in the CIAA championship football game here at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Winston-Salem State had a 15-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Hampton scrapping and scratching back. They have come back to within 3 at 15-12, and we still have the point after coming up. Pirates going to go for it. They missed one when they scored their last touchdown. They went for the 2 points, but they didn't make it. Now let's see what happens here. Naturally, they're going to go for it.
Natural.
3:44. Hall is the lone setback. Everybody else is flanked out to the left. Now Painter comes to the right. They give to Hall. Hall barrels his way. He did not make it. Demetrius Hall did not make it. Well, that's a credit to the Winston-Salem defense.
Yeah, they've really been able to play well down in that position. Both times Hampton went for a two-point conversion. They were able to stop both plays. At this point in the game, 15-12 in favor of Winston-Salem. Those two conversions that were missed by Hampton will loom very large. This game continues. 45-yard run by Carl Painter.
And Hampton's right back in it. 15-12.
Turned to a real exciting football game. The way it started, I guess there was a question, but Hampton has really come back and played extremely well in the second quarter.
Calvin Tolliver will kick off for the Hampton Pirates. Keith Torrance, a junior from Mooreville, North Carolina, waiting for the Tolliver kickoff. Hear that wind whistling through Armstrong Field here on a cold afternoon.
Fred to wonder what the wind chill factor is out there.
Winter has arrived, folks, at least in Hampton, Virginia. Doesn't seem to be bothering the players any, though.
No, it really doesn't. But I guess they're involved a little bit more than the rest of us here.
Tolliver ready to go now to kick off for the Hampton Pirates. Puts this one out of bounds, and Torrance is going to let it go. Winston-Salem State will go to work 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
I think Winston has to come back and really try to establish a little bit more dominance here. Hampton has obviously shifted the momentum of the game, and they're playing a lot better than they had earlier. And Winston-Salem has been struggling somewhat, so hopefully they can try to establish something with this possession.
I'll say it has been a disadvantage. Hampton really struggled during the first quarter. Now they've taken charge. Here's Winston-Salem's Graves.
Great tackle.
And a beautiful tackle right at the line of scrimmage. And Graves was thrown for a 1-yard loss. Carlton Calsar made the tackle for Hampton.
That was a great defensive play on his part to get upfield, get his shoulder into the player, throw them for a 1-yard loss on that first down possession.
That must be disheartening. 2nd down and 11 for Hampton, or rather for Winston-Salem. Maynard, here's Calsar again, and down he goes. 2 big plays. Carlton Calsar for Hampton.
With the quarterback rolling out, they end up with very good pressure upfield. And I think that really shows how Hampton has continued to play well by being able to make that play where earlier they wouldn't have made it. Here's the replay. Number 75 comes along the block, and number 45 will come to your picture in a moment to make the play on the quarterback, which is 2 solid defensive plays in a row for Hampton.
You know, not too long ago, we were telling you how Winston-Salem State couldn't do anything wrong. Now it's Hampton's turn. They have been all over the field in the second quarter.
It's amazing.
They're down only by 3.
It's amazing how quickly things change.
Wayne James in motion. There are whistles. Well, if you're Winston-Salem, you say, well, what else can go wrong in the second quarter?
Yeah, it really has been that way for them. They had one reasonably decent drive, but other than that, this quarter has been all Hampton University.
And it is 3rd down and 13 for Winston-Salem State. And if the Pirates defensively can hold right here, they might get good field position again.
Well, with the way the wind is, anytime either team is punted from this position on the field, they haven't really gotten much yardage on those punts.
The wind is blowing into the teeth of Winston-Salem State, and they're going to have to punt against it again. They really had problems in the first half, in the first quarter, rather, because there were a couple of block punts.
Yeah, well, not only were there, as you say, block punts, but any punt that was made, I don't think really got any more than maybe 20 yards maximum as far as distance was concerned.
So this turns out to be a pretty big down for Winston-Salem State. I'm sure they would like to go into the intermission with that 3-point lead. It has dribbled away from them. They were leading 15-0 at one stage of the game. 3rd and 13 for Winston-Salem State. James in motion. Maynard wants to throw this time. almost intercepted. Thomas Gossier had it and couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, when you have those opportunities, you have to catch the ball. You don't get a lot of chances. Great defensive play by Gossier, but you can really put your team in great field position. Unfortunately, the ball slipped through his hands.
He probably won't speak to himself for about a year or so. He seems to be happy though. Look at him. 2:55 to go. It's punt time. Here's the Hamlin punt. And like you said, Willie, that's no more than about 20 or 25 yards.
It's been very, very difficult punting from this position on the field today. And to get that 20, 25 yards, they had to get an 8-yard roll to do that.
Exactly 25 yards. Here's a reminder. The Thurgood Marshall Fund was developed by Miller Lite and the NBA to support America's public black colleges. Public colleges don't get the backing that some private colleges do. So with your support, the fund can help deserving black students pay for schooling. So we remind you that the quality of our public black colleges needs your help, because the future should be something everyone can afford. All right, Hampton has the ball at the 39-yard line of Winston-Salem State with 2:26 remaining in the first half. Winston leading 15-12. Russell Johnson is the quarterback. He's gone most of the way in the second quarter. Has a man out here all alone, and nothing doing.
You can see how the wind took the ball. The receiver ends up coming open on the defensive back, but once the ball was in the air, the wind just sort of took it and it drifted out of bounds.
Third and 8. Hampton at the 39. He went for it all on that last play, didn't he?
Yes.
Johnson on the keeper. Johnson gets it to the 34-yard line, and that's about all he can get. He was hit in there by number 91, Darren Napier. Johnson is a pretty good-sized quarterback. He is 6'2", 210 pounds, and might I remind you that he is just a freshman.
I think he has a great future to look forward to here at Hampton.
Of course, he lives here in Hampton. 4th and 3 for the Pirates, and they're going to go for it. And they want a timeout with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining in the first half.
This becomes a big play for Hampton if they can go ahead and get a first down and go into the locker room at the half with a lead. After the way Winston-Salem started, I think they would put themselves in pretty good position from a confidence standpoint to really play the rest of this game in a very good fashion.
Kicking field goals is out of the question in this win.
Well, I think they still could have a chance at this end of the field because the wind is with them. Obviously going the other direction, you wouldn't even be able to consider a field goal.
Yes, it's a stiff wind, and perhaps, well, they need the first down, really. It is 4th and 3.
Yeah.
And with them fine running backs that Hampton has, I'm surprised that they went for the pass.
Yeah, so am I, especially as you notice that longer pass, the wind just caught it and carried it away. I think if you're going to throw it, you have to throw shorter patterns, maybe 10 to 15 yards, where you don't get the ball up as high and have the wind affect it.
The CIAA started this on-field championship game in 1970. Virginia State defeated Johnson C. Smith in that game by a score of 32-14 at Rogers Stadium in Petersburg. And it went on for a couple of years. Then they disbanded, and they picked it back up in 1981. Here's the third down play, and the intended receiver on that play was Tracy Miller. Incomplete. They banged Johnson around on that one, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, and I'm glad they had pressure on him too, because number 21 had come wide open across the middle, and if that ball is complete, it's a touchdown.
So Winston-Salem State can breathe a little easier now. They held Hampton at the 34-yard line, and they will take over. Bobby Jr. has come in at quarterback for Bill Hayes. With 1 minute and 26 remaining, first half. He started the championship game last year to Junior, but he lost his job to Maynard. The give goes to Graves. gets out to the 36-yard line. It's 2 yards on the play.
You can really see where Winston-Salem early was getting 4 and 5 yards on that initial possession. Now they're down to 2 and 3 yards, and that just really shows how Hampton University has continued to really play so much better as far as their defense.
2nd and 8. They'd like to get that ball back. I don't know how many timeouts they have left, but they would like to get it back with Hampton. They're trailing 15-12. Winston-Salem State has the ball, 2nd and 8. Junior would like to get a first down for the Rams. And the runner on that play is Lonnie Pulley. Pulley picks up 5, gets it out to the 41. Stadium clock running down. 3rd down and 8. And Hampton calls timeout.
And number 55 for Hampton, Washington Owens, made a very solid tackle on that play. If he had made that tackle, that could have been an easy 20, 30-yard game. But I think with the way the defensive line has continued to play, the linebackers are playing well. Hampton overall is just playing much better football at this time than Winston-Salem.
So when play is resumed, it'll be 3rd and 3 for Winston-Salem at their own 41-yard line. Hampton would like to get their hands on that ball, at least 1 or 2 plays.
Well, I think,
naturally, Bill Hayes will probably call a running play.
Well, I think the thing, of course, he needs to do is to get off this field and get into the locker room at halftime with a 3-point lead, and then try to reassess what things they've done right, and of course things they've been doing wrong in the 2nd quarter, to decide how they're going to play that 2nd half.
It's called escaping with your life, huh?
Yeah, of course. Sometimes the better part of valor.
31 seconds remaining in the 1st half, and at halftime we're going to be taking an academic look at the schools in the CIAA. Also, we'll have the all CIAA band on at halftime, and bands from both Hampton and Winston-Salem State. All right, big 3rd down and 3 for both Winston and Hampton. If Winston can get the first down, they can run out the clock. Torrance in motion.
Didn't get it.
Braves did not get the first down. He stacked him up. He only got 2 yards on the play. Washington Owens was one of the gentlemen, number 55, getting up off the stack. He made the tackle. And it might be a face-saving tackle with 10 seconds. Hampton cannot stop the clock, so that'll be it. That's the end of the 1st half. Winston-Salem State 15, Hampton University 12. We'll return to Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia with our halftime activities.
Hi. I am looking for presents for my husband and my son, and I have seen shirts, ties, books, records. But you know, they love sports, so I thought maybe you had something here.
What's their favorite sport?
Baseball, I guess. Or maybe it's football. You know, come to think of it, they love basketball, boxing, hockey, tennis. They're real big sports fans.
There is a perfect present for guys like that, but I can't sell it to you.
Well, why not?
It's Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated?
America's #1 sports magazine. It gives them 55 weeks of great sports coverage, including the Year in Sports, the baseball preview, the football spectacular, the basketball preview, and the annual swimsuit issue.
Yeah, I know they'll like that.
This year, they'll also get one of Sports Illustrated's biggest issues ever, the '88 Olympic Preview Edition, with an exclusive look at all the major events, like hockey, skating, skiing. No one covers the Olympics like Sports Illustrated.
They'll really like that.
And you'll like getting Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price, over 60% off the cover price.
A sale before Christmas?
And no crowded stores, because you don't go shopping for SI, you just call.
No shopping, no crowds? Very nice.
Just call their toll-free Christmas hotline for 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price. 3 monthly payments of $15.99 each. You won't even be billed till next year.
Well, it sounds like the perfect present for any man. On sale, no shopping, no catch?
You get 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price, including all the preview issues, the swimsuit issue, and the '88 Olympic Preview Edition. And even a card for under the tree. Just by calling toll-free 1-800 1-800-274-5100.
I'm sold. Where's the phone?
Over there.
What's that number?
1-800-274-5100.
I know what I'm getting my boyfriend.
And my dad.
Terrific idea. Great idea.
Academically, we're going to now take a look at Hampton University, Norfolk State from Virginia, North Carolina Central University, and Fayetteville State from North Carolina.
The name of Hampton's most illustrious alumnus, Booker T. Washington, rings throughout the halls of learning as Hampton University alumni are found across the world today in positions of authority and great responsibility. However, it was those early and accomplished graduates who created what is known as the Hampton tradition. Hampton University's curriculum provides a wide array of professional and technical skills designed to prepare students for today's and tomorrow's world of work. In order to meet the high demand for technical disciplines among its students, Hampton has implemented major programs in chemical engineering and also applied physics and engineering electronics. The university has the distinction of being the only academic institution in all of Tidewater that offers the Bachelor of Science degree in chemical engineering.
Norfolk State University is located in Norfolk, Virginia. A young institution by CIAA standards, it was founded in 1935 and offers bachelor and master's degree programs that attract a student body representing 24 nations of the world. Norfolk State boasts the largest reserve officers training corps of any civilian college in the state of Virginia, and it has outstanding graduate programs leading to master's degrees in urban affairs, community psychology, urban education, education of the gifted, music, orthopedic and multiple handicapped health impaired conditions, mass communications, and social work. Is the home of 5,000 students. It was the first state-supported arts college for black people in the United States. Graduates of North Carolina Central are given an extraordinary academic background to prepare them for leadership in their careers. In addition to the undergraduate and graduate schools of arts and sciences, business, law, and library science, North Carolina Central University offers courses of study that lead to a wide range of occupations and styles of life. The university's new careers programs include bachelor's level studies in public administration, criminal justice, and health administration, as well as career-oriented programs in jazz and in church music. Fayetteville State University is located in the second largest urban population center in the state of North Carolina. It is a cosmopolitan campus that offers bachelor's degrees in 32 disciplines and associate degrees in 23 disciplines. A new ultra-modern science complex has been recently completed. Academically, Fayetteville State seeks to provide an atmosphere that encourages intellectual creativity. The faculty and administration here are men and women who easily identify with the struggles and the aspirations of their students. Winston-Salem.
It's halftime here at Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia, and we'll return with a look at some of the other CIAA colleges in a moment.
Eddie, understanding your passion for Miller High Life, I brought you something.
A six-pack. No, a bottle. A bona fide Frederick Miller original, circa 1880.
Note, it is just as clear as today's bottle. Proof positive. Miller has been proud to show their dark, rich beer for more than 100 years. Now, that's tradition, Eddie. That's the American way.
That's great, Jim, but I prefer this bottle.
Why is that, Eddie?
Because it's full.
Tempo brings you the fast-paced action of American soccer each Saturday night throughout the 1987-88 American Indoor Soccer Association season. Tonight, you'll see Milwaukee Wave play the Canton Invaders from the Civic Center in Canton, Ohio. Don't miss the excitement. Don't miss the fun. Don't miss a minute of the action. American soccer tonight on Tempo following the CIAA Football Championship at 10 Eastern, 9 Central.
Winston-Salem State Band down on the field here in Armstrong Field in Hampton, Virginia. And speaking of Winston-Salem State, some of the fine academic achievements have come out of Winston-Salem State and also Johnson C. Smith. Both are from North Carolina and in the CIAA. And we're going to also be looking at Elizabeth City and Virginia State.
Aspirations of their students. Winston-Salem State University is a coeducational institution of the liberal arts and sciences and the creative and performing arts as well. Its nursing school offers an outstanding program of academic and professional training. The school emphasizes a close contact between its 2,000 students and the faculty and administrative staff of the university. Sports are important at Winston-Salem. The Gaines Fieldhouse is named for the school's well-known athletic director and nationally known basketball coach. Clarence Big House Gaines is the winningest active coach in the country and a member of basketball's Hall of Fame. However, it is not basketball that brings the member schools of the CIAA to Winston-Salem. Johnson C. Smith University is an independent private college of the liberal arts. A student is not a number at Smith. They're a member of a family. Located in Charlotte, North Carolina, Johnson C. Smith University offers its students small classes in a personal environment, and its distinguished faculty offers academic programs in the physical sciences, business administration, communication arts, early childhood and secondary education, computer programming and music, along with a full range of athletic programs. Elizabeth City State University is located in northeastern North Carolina, near the famed Outer Banks and Kitty Hawk, where the Wright brothers started the age of aviation for the world. Elizabeth City is one of the regional universities of the state, and its more than 1,700 students enjoy a blend of activities that include cultural performances as well as intercollegiate athletics. It's a campus with an atmosphere of mutual respect and concern, both academically and socially. Virginia State University in Petersburg, Virginia, has been affiliated with the CIAA since 1920. The Virginia State campus overlooks the Appomattox River and the site of the last battlefield of the Civil War. The academic offerings include pre-veterinary medicine and engineering technology, as well as more than 15 new undergraduate and graduate programs that have been planned for introduction during the next 5 years, as this historic institution continues to remain relevant to the specific needs and aspirations of its students.
So the Winston-Salem State Band is entertaining here at halftime, and let's go down and, well, they're coming off the field, huh? And, of course, the next entrance will be made by the Hampton University Band here in Hampton, Virginia. Any halftime thoughts, Willie Lanier?
Well, I was noticing some of the defensive stats today, and I think in looking at the way Hampton continued to play very well on defense, I noted three of their players, Nathaniel Kearney, Salton, Phil Foster, and Washington Owens, all had more than 67 tackles for their defense. So they really showed up that defensive problem they had in the first quarter, made the adjustments, became more intense and more aggressive in their play, and really shifted the way this game was going as far as the team was concerned.
You saw the bundle of fans here at halftime, and it is a cold Saturday afternoon here in the Tidewater area. Temperatures were 32 degrees at game time. Here's the Hampton University Band. Doesn't get much colder than that, does it?
No, it doesn't. I don't think we even have an idea where the wind chill is, but at least we know one group of these fans will be a lot warmer at the end of this game than the other.
Okay, let's go down and pick up the musical happenings from the Hampton University Band from Hampton, Virginia.
This guy's gonna beat me. Not today. My serve is booming. A forehand, just like Connor's. Come on, backhand. I read all about psyching out guys like this, and it works. It's really a pretty easy game when you get the right help. This guy's gonna be lucky to get more than 2 games off me. Get a year of tennis for only $9.97, less than half the newsstand price. Call 800-228-1500. You'll also get our free booklet with tips to improve your game. Call 800-228-1500.
Some of the other CIAA schools. Bowie State, Virginia Union, Shaw.
Why do you invest with Charles Schwab?
My commission savings over several years have been substantial. Very substantial.
Well, I just opened my Schwab account this week. Bought 100 shares of stock, and I saved $49.
I cut my commission costs in half. Period.
Here at Schwab, we drive down your commission costs, and we do it with a level of service that you'll really appreciate.
For your free Schwab booklet, call toll-free 800-272 6200.
All right, Betty, I'll make you a friendly wager. A round of beers, you won't get this.
Darker one's the Miller Highlight. Waitress, 2 Millers, please. He's buying.
That's pretty good. How did you know that?
Common knowledge.
Okay, double or nothing, you don't know why.
Dark roasted malt makes Miller darker. Anybody knows that.
You saw my commercials.
That was you? No, seriously, was that you? That was you?
The Hampton University Band, and now we're going to look at the final 4 schools in our continuing series on the academic side of the CIAA, leading off with Bowie State of Maryland.
At historical Bowie State College in Bowie, Maryland. This classic institution in Southern Maryland is now in its 2nd century, offering 24-degree programs that prepare its students for a wide variety of career options. Its graduate college is in its 2nd decade, offering 11 areas of concentration in education and counseling psychology. Bowie State is known for its innovative programs specifically designed to prepare students for productive roles in our changing society. It has been nearly a century since the first black college football teams took to the field in homemade uniforms on a snowy day here in Salisbury, North Carolina. Johnson C. Smith was then known as Biddle University when they met Livingston College in that historic athletic contest. That was 1892. History is important to Livingston. The home of the founder, Joseph C. Price, still stands on the campus as a reminder to the students of the day of the commitment of the founder of this Christian college to creating a place where young men and women can emerge and grow. St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia is a private, church-related, coeducational institution. It is one of the 3 remaining predominantly black 4-year institutions operating under the auspices of the Episcopal Church of America. Located among Southside Virginia's gently rolling hills, St. Paul's College provides its students with a great deal of individualized instruction that is made possible because of its small size. The school offers an atmosphere that is a very effective learning environment for its inquiring student body who come to St. Paul's in search of meaningful careers. Richmond, Virginia is the home of Virginia Union University. This Christian institution that dates back to 1865 is a coeducational private liberal arts university featuring both an undergraduate and graduate school of theology. The city of Richmond provides Virginia Union students with many cultural advantages. Bachelor's degrees are awarded in 26 different areas, including arts, sciences, and business, which offers a concentration in banking. The Master's of Divinity degree is conferred by the Graduate School of Theology. Raleigh, North Carolina is the home of Shaw University. Now in its second century, this Christian institution carries on its mission to provide a setting where its 1,500 students enjoy an atmosphere in which religion and learning go hand in hand. Although established originally to train religious leaders, over the years, Shaw has initiated additional programs to produce graduates in a wide variety of professions. Also in Raleigh is St. Augustine's College. This coeducational Episcopal Church-related college was founded in 1867. A dedicated faculty provides liberal arts, teacher, and career education, including pre-medicine, pre-law, industrial hygiene, and allied health programs. The beautiful campus is an inspirational setting for St. Augustine students, where they can further their interest in becoming doctors, dentists, lawyers, accountants, engineers, and teachers. Many of tomorrow's successful professionals will come from the campus of St. Augustine's. Many of today's successful athletes come from this school. The Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association has a glorious heritage both in sports and in scholarship. 14 of the finest schools in this nation offer their students a rich and complete educational experience. Here a student can enjoy their sport and open the door to a career that will enrich the quality of their life for decades to come. When the first black colleges were founded more than a century ago, they filled an important need in this nation for young men and women who were denied access to all but a very few white institutions of higher learning. Today, the sons and daughters of these past generations can choose to advance their studies anywhere in this country. However, they continue to choose to attend these historical institutions. They choose a heritage. They choose a tradition. They choose the CIAA.
We're back at Armstrong Field here in Hampton, Virginia, as you have taken a look at all 14 CIAA schools academically, as narrated by the legendary correspondent Mal Good. This is the All CIAA Band, a third annual edition of band members made up of just about all of the CIAA institutions. Let's go down and check them out.
am looking for presents for my husband and my son, and I have seen shirts, ties, books, records. But you know, they love sports, so I thought maybe you had something here.
What's their favorite sport?
Baseball, I guess. Or maybe it's football. You know, come to think of it, they love basketball, boxing, hockey, tennis. They're real big sports fans.
There is a perfect present for guys like that, but I can't sell it to you.
Well, why not?
It's Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated.
America's #1 sports magazine. It gives them 55 weeks of great sports coverage, including the Year in Sports, the baseball preview, the football spectacular, the basketball preview, and the annual swimsuit issue.
Yeah, I know they'll like that.
This year, they'll also get one of Sports Illustrated's biggest issues ever, the '88 Olympic Preview Edition, with an exclusive look at all the major events, like hockey, skating, skiing. No one covers the Olympics like Sports Illustrated.
They'll really like that.
And you'll like getting Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price, over 60% off the cover price.
A sale before Christmas?
And no crowded stores, because you don't go shopping for SI, you just call.
No shopping, no crowds? Very nice.
Just call their toll-free Christmas hotline for 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price. 3 monthly payments of $15.99 each. You won't even be billed till next year.
Well, it sounds like the perfect present for any man. On sale, no shopping, no catch?
You get 55 issues of Sports Illustrated at the Christmas sale price, including all the preview issues, the swimsuit issue, and the '88 Olympic Preview Edition. Even a card for under the tree. Just by calling toll-free 1-800-274-5100.
I'm sold. Where's the phone?
Over there.
What's that number?
1-800-274-5100.
I know what I'm getting my boyfriend.
And my dad.
Terrific idea. It's a great idea.
Well, the two teams have returned to the field here as the all-CIAA band is still performing here at halftime. Hampton and Winston-Salem State have returned. It is 15-12, and it has been Willie Lanier like two different games. Winston-Salem State scored its 15 points in the first quarter. Hampton turned around and shut out Winston-Salem 12-0 in the second quarter.
It really makes you wonder what the wind has to do with it. Both times the scoring has occurred when the wind was an advantage for the direction that the teams are going. So even though both teams have kept the ball on the ground, it seemed that there were miscues in the passing as well as kicking part of the games that helped lead to points for both sides.
Today's CIAA championship game here in Hampton, Virginia is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. Cold-filtered draft beer. It's as real as it gets. Okay, well, we have some halftime statistics here as we view what happened in the first half between these two fine teams. Willie, what do you have?
Well, I was just looking at some of the defensive stats, and as I was saying earlier, some of the Hampton University players, Anthony Kearney, who happened to be a freshman, Carlson Crosby, Washington Owens really played very outstanding defense for them in that first half. I noticed that on Winston-Salem's side, a Frank was the player who ended up, Donald Frank, had 5 tackles in the first half. So it's been a combination of good defense on one side and one quarter, then the offense is being able to score for their teams and the other. So the games are sort of floated back and forth with very good offensive play, very good defensive play, and then reversing based on what position the teams are on the field.
Well, they look here as we see the halftime stats almost totally even in first downs. Winston-Salem has out first down Hampton by 3. Total rushing has been 97 for Winston and 129 for Hampton. Hampton, of course, having the total edge there.
Well, I think with the change in quarterbacks, once Johnson came into the game, we already knew rather that Demetrius Hall and Carl Painter were 2 very talented running backs, but Johnson has added a dimension to their rushing attack, and I think, of course, it shows up in these numbers.
It's been a rather penalty-free first half. 3 for one, 4 for the other.
Yeah, it really has been. I think even noticing back where those stats look like, there has not been that much passing. There have been a few good plays, but I think neither one of these teams throw very well in good conditions. Of course, the winds has changed that condition here today.
So we're all ready to go here to start the second half of action here in Hampton, Virginia, with Winston-Salem State leading by a score of 15-12. And Hampton now will kick off. Calvin Tolliver will kick to Keith Torrance. The CIAA championship game. The second and final half underway on a cold, windy afternoon in Hampton, Virginia. And we're all ready to go. Ron Pinckney along with Willie Lanier here at Armstrong Field. Tolliver ready to put the foot in it. Torrance is the lone deep man for Winston. Hauls it in at about the 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Looking for running room. Down the sideline he goes. Ducking and dodging his way, and he gets to the 41-yard line. A very fine run back by Keith Torrance of 35 yards.
The best return of the day. I think they really worked on how they wanted to set that play up. Good deep kickoff, but Torrance was able to get the ball, work up field, and be able to use his speed to get to the outside and give them very good field position starting the second half. Here you see Torrance receiving the ball at the 5-yard line. He'll start up field, cut to his right, and then show his explosive speed, being able to get to the outside, make a couple moves there before the tackle is made by Hampton.
First and 10 for Winston-Salem. Here comes Graves again. Graves gets to the 47-yard line, and he's finally brought down at the 47 by Anthony Kearney, number 86. But not until he picked up 9 yards on the play.
Well, Kearney's continuing his tackling ways from the first half, but obviously I noticed a change that Winston-Salem is starting the second half, going to the outside, and of course picking up 9 yards from the first play. Hopefully will open up the other running attack for them inside as the half continues.
You're looking at Winston-Salem. They're in the red and white uniforms. Hampton in the blue and white. All ready to go. Graves this time on a handoff. Stopped right at the line of scrimmage, and he could not get around Tony Holden, number 75.
But Tony Holden made a great defensive play, closing in from his defensive end position, his defensive tackle position rather, and being able to cut off that inside play by Winston-Salem.
Lost a yard on the play. Second, or make it 3rd and 2 for Winston. They're at their own 48. High formation employed. Only the front man. Graves the deep man in the eye. And again, he runs into Mr. Holden, number 75.
Very seldom can you put together 2 outstanding defensive plays like that. Holden really ended up stopping this series of Winston-Salem almost by himself. Here he is, gets a great tackle on the running back, number 32. He gains nothing at all on that play.
4th down, David Hamling now will do the punting. Mark Brady gonna let it bounce around down there, and Hampton University holding Winston-Salem State on the first series of downs in the second half. The Pirates now will go to work. 1st down and 10. and they will have the ball for the first time in the second half. They're going to put the ball at the 23-yard line. First and 10, Hampton University. Like Winston-Salem, they have two fine backs in Hall and Painter. Painter raced 45 yards for a touchdown in the second quarter. This is Hall this time, but Winston-Salem State had his number 67, Jeff Kelly, a junior from Charlotte, North Carolina, and it's a -2 yards for Hall.
Hall didn't look like he really had good possession of that ball, and the play didn't come off as crisp as they were running it in the first half. I think he did a good job just to hold on to the ball and only have a 2-yard loss.
Second and 13 for Hampton University. Ball is at the 21-yard line. Painter is the deep man in the I formation.